Building your own draft system at home is awesome and can save you a ton of money. And you've probably seen draft systems made out of fridges like this one, Kegerators, and draft systems made out of chest freezers like these, Keezers. Both of them are great, but they do have their pros and their cons. I enjoy Kegerators because I still get the freezer. I can still store stuff up here. And I've also found that these are much more common to find in secondhand places like Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. But Keezers are cool for a number of reasons too, though. It's a lot easier to get stuff in and out, not just beer and fermenters, but hoses and stuff to build. And fridges are only so big. You can only get about 2 or 3 corny cakes in there, but there are some massive chest freezers out there if you need to store more. A big factor is once you start drilling into a refrigerator, it's gonna pretty much become a Kegerator for life. But the same does not go for a Keezer. A Keezer, you're building a wooden collar and you're drilling into that, and that's what your beer faucets are gonna run through. And then the collar gets glued to the top of the chest freezer, and then you screw the top door into the wooden collar. And if you ever want to convert your Keezer back to a chest freezer, it's a lot easier. I'll pin a link to my Keezer build in the comments section of this video, but for today's tutorial, we're going to build a Kegerator out of a used fridge I scored on Craigslist, and everything I'll be using will be in the description of this video.
I'm gonna make a Kegerator for less than $300. I bought a little one before. It was like 700 bucks at Costco. It didn't even get down to like 40 degrees. Tried to get my money back and they escorted me.
Here's what we're not doing today. We're buying one of these. Here's what we are doing today. We're making a fucking Kegerator. It's a buyer's market. Homebrew stuff is now cheaper than ever. A lot of people get over it real fast after they realize it's a lot of work. Some dudes get DUIs and their wives force them to sell their stuff. Well, now it's in our favor. I'm gonna make a Kegerator today with 2 hat handles, but you make it with 1 or 2. It's your call. What do we need? Fridge. Snag it used on Craigslist. I don't use chest freezers. I go with stand-up fridges for 2 reasons. Keep your fucking freezer for ice and to store hops. And secondly, you don't need temp control. We'll call this 50 bucks. Snoop around. Be resourceful. Corny kegs. Get a ball lock. The PRV valves are better. These bad boys are floating around Craigslist for about 50 bucks. Used or about 120 new. Buy used. Shank. Listen here. Buy the one in the description below. It's got a nipple and it connects directly to the beer line. Amazon. $26. Couplings, link in the fucking description. These are the best ones. No leaks with these babies. CO2 tank with regulator. Craigslist, Craigslist, Craigslist. Snag anywhere from 5 to 20 pound tank and a regulator. Keep it under 75 bucks. Booyakasha boy. You sweet boys out there. Drip tray. This is up to you. It's your call. Completely optional. If you pour perfect beers and don't spill, you don't need this. If you're like me, snag this in the description below. Drill with spade bit. You should already own this, so I'm not going to list this in the description below. Spade bits. Snag either 7/8 or 5/16. Some form of sealant. They all work. Bubble spray for bigger holes. Silicone. Caulking guns. We'll call it 5 bucks. 6 feet. 3/16 inner diameter beer line. Link in bio. 6 feet CO2 hose. Link in bio. All this should be done for no more than $300. We got the ingredients. Now let's put it all together. Steps. 1. Unplug your fridge. There's a 99% chance all the coils are in the back of your fridge, but I cannot account for every fridge in the world. I've made dozens of Kegerators and I never hit a coil on the side or in the front. This is just a precaution. And then when you're all done, plug your fridge back in. If you buy a used fridge, there's probably a bunch of drawers in it. Take them all out. Okay, now how are we supposed to support all of this weight? I've used cinder blocks, wood, and bricks before, but honestly, books work the best. And who the hell needs books anymore? Just go on our Instagram and creep on our shit. P.S. These books support 4 5-gallon corny cakes. Putting your CO2 tank on the outside means more beer in your fridge. Find a good spot on the door. I usually drill in the same spot every time. If the spade bit doesn't work at first, drill a pilot hole with a smaller bit, then get the big one in there. Put your shank through, wind it up till it's airtight from the inside. Time to drill our CO2 hole. Just make sure when you drill this hole, it goes into the fridge and not the freezer. Hashtag LOL. Look at that hole. Run your CO2 line through. Connect it to our gas in disconnects. Fill up your hole with sealant. This shit will take up to about an hour to dry. When it gets on your hands, it sucks. Drink beers with your dad, even though you didn't invite him over. Snag your beer line, connect it to the nipple on the shank. If it doesn't work the first time, dip the beer line in about 130 degree water, wait 10 or 20 seconds, and then it should go right on there. Then connect the other side to our beer out disconnect. Good to go. Optional drip tray. Drill holes, use 2 screws and let it rest here. I make sure mine isn't so tight so I can always just pull it out and clean it after a good night of beer chugging.